Como corolario de nuestro viaje por Napa Valley, Calistoga y Sonoma, entrevistamos a Armand Gilinsky, un catedrático de la Sonoma University State que expuso en Mendoza en el Foro Vitivinícola.
Hi, my name is Armand Gilinsky. I'm the F.J. Corbell Brothers Professor of Wine Business at Sonoma State University in Rohnert Park, California, USA. I'm here because I was asked to come to Argentina to learn all I could about the Argentinian wine industry and to share that experience with my students. I've been teaching wine business since 1998 and have written over 40 case studies about wine businesses, and also had an opportunity to have many business people from the wine industry come as guests to my class and learn about what they should do to make their businesses better. My own particular specialization is primarily in the area of strategic management. Strategic management of entrepreneurial wine businesses, strategic management of mature, large wine businesses, but especially strategic management of family businesses. Since coming to Mendoza, I've been absolutely amazed by the vitality and knowledge and expertise of the young generation of professionals in the wine industry, in the tourism industry, and in the lodging industry. Their dynamism and energy and work ethic has far surpassed anything I would have expected, given the fact that they're the same millennial generation as some of our American counterparts back home. I was particularly amazed by the quality of the wines. The fact that the wines had a European sensibility with a much more value pricing and much more modest presentation. There was no snootiness, no haughty air associated with European wines, and the same goes for the people who serve. Well, one of the major similarities between Sonoma, Napa, and Mendoza are the focus and concentration on star varietals. In the case of Mendoza, of course, it's Malbec, and to a lesser extent Cabernet Sauvignon and the emerging. But in Napa and Sonoma, the major focus in Napa is Cabernet Sauvignon and Chardonnay. In Sonoma, the major focus is primarily on Pinot Noir, and also to some extent Chardonnay, Sauvignon Blanc, and Zinfandel. The major difference, of course, has to do with the cost of living and the price per land. Napa and Sonoma are high-cost living areas. Land prices are exceedingly high. The cost of labor is exceedingly high. My understanding about land prices and labor costs in Argentina are much more modest in comparison. That does not, though, affect the quality of the wine. In fact, if anything, Argentina has a certain advantage in terms of being able to produce an equal, if not better quality, at a much more lower cost of production. Well, in Napa, there can be no question there's a dedicated effort to develop along a Highway 29, which is the major road that runs through Napa, to develop what we call affectionately a Disneyland for adults who like wine. And the conscious attempt also involved the building of hotels and high-end restaurants, some case three-star Michelin guide restaurants. You also had some natural attraction. Sonoma is a little bit different. It's been a much more haphazard approach to development of infrastructure. While you have the road infrastructure, you don't have the extensive tourism and hotel and restaurant infrastructure yet that Napa has, although in northern Sonoma County, in Healdsburg, Dry Creek Valley, which is where the Zinfandel producers primarily are located, there's been an explosion of new hotels and high-end restaurants, and it's become sort of the Beverly Hills of wine, if you understand the metaphor. Here in Mendoza, there's admittedly a long way to go. My hope is that whatever development does take place for tourism, hotels, restaurants, roads, that is sustainable and that is done with the community in mind. Because there's been some great community opposition emerging in Napa and Sonoma to wineries, particularly those that hold events like weddings, wine tastings, and so forth. That's not to demean the fact that the wineries themselves have made some great contributions to communities. They're holding wine auctions, they're donating to philanthropic causes. In fact, we surveyed wine producers in California, Washington, and Oregon, and 99% of producers make charitable donations to philanthropic causes, primarily in their local communities. My hope is that the same will happen here in Mendoza. The story that Argentinian wine producers here have to tell, obviously, is going to be that we are adventurous, we are bold, we're not afraid to try to do one better, what they're doing in Europe with the French blends, the GSM blends in the Côte d'Or region, the Super Tuscan blends in Italy, the Bordeaux blends, and so forth. We're not afraid to try to retell those stories, but in a much more radically different, new way. My passion about wine is about the people who are involved in the industry. I buy wine primarily from people I like, for people who are characters, who have some interesting approach to life. It's about the approach to life that's maybe more important than the approach to business, in my estimation. Yes, you can have an interesting family history. Everybody has interesting family histories. Some they want to talk about, some they don't want to talk about. But it's about the person who is delivering the message for the winery. It doesn't have to be the owner. It can be the person in the tasting room. It can be the winemaker. It can be the person out in the garden who's actually going to tend to the vines. It's all about the personality of the people involved in the business, and whether or not I want to support those people has nothing to do with whether I am absolutely, madly, truly, deeply in love with their wine.